a lot of times, we tend to ponder and focus on our inadequacies or what we can't do versus focusing on what we can do. What up, y'all? It's your boy Marv from Mo Beats. How you guys doing? I know this is something different from what I would normally do for those that are subscribed to my channel, but I just want to make a proper introduction again. Allow me to reintroduce myself. Anyway, I'm Marv from Mo Beats. I am a music producer, sound designer, father, barber, youth minister, social media director for my church now. And man, I've been saying I want to get back into podcasting, but not really having the time to do it. And podcasts are very time consuming, but man, as of lately I've been so inspired. Man, before we get into it, let me mind my manners. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell on my page. I promise I'm going to be doing a lot more. I'll tell you guys what's been going on with me, but please hit that like, share, comment, and notification button, so when I post new stuff, man, y'all will be the first to do it. So anywho, what I have been doing, man, I have been focusing on the online presence for my church home. For those that may not know, just as much as I am a music producer, sound designer, I've been a born-again Christian for 23 years. I'm 45 now, so half of my life has been serving the Lord. And I just happen to be a producer that love make. I happen to be a beat maker at the same time. And for those that do know, I used to have a podcast called The Show Lab Producer Podcast, which has not been running for maybe about 2 years. And I'm not to say this is a podcast or anything. I have just been inspired to just get behind the camera and grab a microphone and talk. I think everybody has a voice of some fashion, and if this would help anybody, I just want to be able to, do my 2 cents. So I want to talk to you guys about which something that has been inspiring me as of lately. Everybody has a gift, all right? Everybody has a gift that God has given us, and we are responsible in using those gifts. Like, the gifts are not just given to us just to be given to us. Those gifts are to be used for, from a Christian standpoint, for His glory, to be able to, show His goodness through the gifts that He has given you. But everybody has a gift, right? So whatever you're called to do, I guess my encouraging words to you is to step out and do it. A lot of times, we tend to ponder and focus on our inadequacies or what we can't do versus focusing on what we can do. Like, making music is something that I can do. Now, I may not be able to do something else, but music is something that I do. Video editing is another gift that I've been able to do, which segueing into that chapter of today's message, I have I am now the online director for social media for my church. And it started out with just doing some reels for my pastor, which for years, man, he is my pastor, had been saying, hey, listen, I want to be able to do these like 30-second commercials, 45-second commercials of just straight to the point conversations or straight to the point messages in 30 seconds, right? So, for a long time and for a lot of years, I was like, yeah, I hear you. Yeah, well, I don't see myself doing it. So, let's just go ahead and just keep talking about it. Hopefully somebody else will pick it up. I didn't see myself doing it. But then earlier this year, back in June, my pastor, which is my father-in-law, he went into the hospital. He had a doctor's appointment just to do a checkup. But then my mother-in-law called and said, hey, they're keeping your father because they're keeping him to do a bypass surgery. So we went to, so now it's like, hold on, you went in for a doctor's appointment. Now you're talking about bypass surgery. And you know what? The day that was a Tuesday, it was the same day that they had that mass shooting at the high school in Uvalde, Texas. Same day, it was a Tuesday. And I remember when my mother-in-law sent this group text to all the family members, immediately I heard a voice, which was the Holy Spirit, saying, you got to come off that job, right? Which I had been knowing about a year ago that God was calling me to something greater, you know what I'm saying? And what that consists of what that would consist of me coming off of my regular job and doing full-time ministry. So then now, and if I'm backing up a year, then, okay, even though I know that, okay, well, how am I supposed to take care of my family? How's this going to happen? How's that? I'm not renting anymore. I got a mortgage to pay. You know what I'm saying? Like, kids are in school, tuition and bills and stuff. That was last year. So, it just kind of and see, I'm the type of person where I can just like, yeah, okay, yeah, all right. Let's figure this out next year. And just going on by my business and not even think about it again. But when my mother-in-law said that my father-in-law was going to the hospital for bypass surgery, it was like everything just kind of went to flash, like just everything just started going fast. And I'm already a youth minister at my church, head sound technician at my church. My plate is pretty full, but as being a part of the pastor's family, God forbid, he passed away, a lot of responsibilities would be on us as a family, to just kind of keep the church thriving, So immediately I just was like, okay, you got to come off this job. So, I didn't, and there was a few things that happened there was some things that was happening on my job that was kind of giving me signs that, okay, your time is limited here. My last day will be November 17th of 2022. So, and that's about another month now. In another month. Actually, yeah, a month and some days. But anyway, November 17th, 2022 is going to be my last day. And there had been some things prior to me hearing the Holy Spirit telling me that on that Tuesday, things that had been happening happening after that. So, they had a situation happen on my job, which it was a clear indication that my time was expiring on the job. Well, let me just tell you, I don't want you to just go on with assumptions if you want to hear it. If you don't want to hear it, I'm going to say it. So, I work in the medical field, and we I deal with customers all the time. And man, we're in 2022. A lot of customers are stressed out. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's on edge. Pandemic, still going on in a sense. Recession. So I happen to have this disgruntled customer that needed something done on his machine, and it was just a bad a lot of lack of communication. So by the time we got to the customer to deal with it, he was just off the roof. You know what I'm saying? So, my supervisor was like, "Hey man, just go pick the equipment up." So I go to his house, and I kind of, I had a weird feeling about, something happening. But, I'm thinking, one side is saying something bad is going to happen, but then another side was like, maybe yesterday he was just having a bad day, so we're going to just see when we get there, cross that bridge. Don't want to be assuming, but at the same time assuming. And so when I get to the customer house, he was like, "Yo, are you coming to service my machine?" I said, "No, I'm picking it up." So he was like, "Get off my porch." Went and grabbed the shotgun. Went to his front door, grabbed the shotgun. And I'm a licensed carrier. I have a license to carry in the state of Texas. So I'm packing too. I carry a Glock 30S 45, 15 round mags. Well, the 15 round is it's a extended clip, but I'm packing too. So when he grabbed the rifle, I went for my gun. So I guess he wasn't expecting that, because I'm not carrying. I carry concealed. So when I reached for my gun, he hurried up and put that gun back down. But to say all that, there was a clear indication like, hey, your time is expiring. Because who needs to be working on a job where, I work in the medical field delivering oxygen, and I am having to pull my gun out on the customer. It just don't make no sense. But anywho, I just was, wifey was like, "Listen, I'm not going to pressure you, but I'm about tired of that job. You want to figure something out?" My boss and them was like, "Yo, man, listen, don't make no hasty decisions." Actually, my boss was out of town, so he was like, "Yo, man, please don't make no hasty decisions, blah, blah, blah." So I'm kind of just going on through my day, but deep down, I'm paying attention to the signs and what's going on or what have you. And, I never told my father-in-law anything, because by this time he's out the hospital, of course. And, I never told him anything about it, but I knew, and I just, because he had been talking, he's been talking to me about, doing going full time, and he'd step out and this and that, and I just wasn't trying to hear none of that, all that, I wasn't trying to hear that, but, I just said, I know once I got the courage to tell him about it, it would be almost like settled in my mind, this is what I need to do. So I remember telling him, I said, "Man, I believe God is calling me to come full time over here at the church." And I said, that God has been giving me the signs, about, just let me know. I said, "Man, I know I didn't tell you anything, but I had a customer to pull a shotgun out on me." And he was like, "Well, I was wondering when you were going to tell me that." Of course, my wife had already told him, but, I never talked to him about it. So for me to, go ahead and just kind of, talk to him about, stepping out and going full time, which something he had been telling me to, encouraging me to do. I knew that it was a settling in my spirit, knowing that, okay, this is what God's want. Now I'm putting a stamp on it, So going back, and I know I kind of put the cart before the horse. Let me back up and just kind of let you know more of the how I knew this is what I needed to do, far as, just doing the online social media stuff for my church. So I remember when my father-in-law got out the hospital, and when he got home from the hospital, of course everybody wanted to come and visit. One Sunday night after we had an evening service, and I remember sitting over there, and he wasn't all the way up to speed for us in his talking, but he whispered over to me. He was like, "Man, I got to get these commercials out." And it was like he said it like in his almost small, still voice. I got to get these commercials out. So me thinking about my inadequacies and not knowing how to do it, I just said, I'm going to try it. You know what I'm saying? So I took one of the messages, cut it up, and when I showed it to him, he was like, "Yes, that's what I've been wanting." So, that was an untapped. That was something that I didn't know that I could do, but I said, "Man, this may be something here." So, I just kept on doing it. I went out to they sent me out to an online media conference in August, and I just put a battery in my back to know, hey, this is what I need to do for as ministry-wise. And, so I'm here this is where I'm at now, taking on this position as an online director for my church. But it's definitely a faith walk. I will say that I have a peace with this all. I don't know, I haven't worked out anything for as, what a payroll is going to look like for me, or, of course I still make, I make the music and make beats, which if you need beats, holler at your boy. I'm going to need you more than ever now. But, I'm out here water walking, and I want to mention this guy named Pastor Tim Ross. He has a podcast called The Basement, and like that has been like my main encouragement. Like, this brother has been like my hero, because he's kind of in that same lane where I'm at. He's 47 and I'm 45, so we kind of have we in the same age bracket, you know what I'm saying? And he's been in ministry longer than me. He's been saved like 26 years, so he got about 3 years on me. But like, he has been so useful in this time as I'm about to transition into this whole different realm. My wife just came in, but and just even with my wife, my wife has always been the one like, let's go for it. You know what I'm saying? She's never really had reservations on, especially when it comes to believing and trusting God. There has always been a fear of the unknown, not knowing what it looks like. But man, I really have a peace about this. And saying all that to say this is that I just want to encourage you guys, if you believe in something that you want to do, or you believe in God is calling you to do it, I would say this. Let me just balance it out. I'm not the one to tell you that everybody's called to full time. I believe that you have to know that, you know what I'm saying, and that has to, your faith has to be there with that. But I won't put that disclaimer out saying that everybody has to be full time. You know what I'm saying? I will not, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm just about to start walking into it. But I will tell you, if you have a God's given gift, you know what I'm saying? Again, like I said in the beginning, we are required to use it to the fullest and to His glory. So I just want to encourage y'all, if, man, don't even worry about your inadequacies or being incompetent or just figuring that you can't. When they got this saying, and it's not a saying, but it's, in the Bible where it talks about using what you have in your hands. Your gift will make room for you. You know what I'm saying? So I hope this encouraged you guys. I definitely won't be doing these every day, but hopefully maybe I can do maybe once a week, even twice a week. But I will be doing more of these. I will get back into some, beat making vids, and I want to be able to start. I want to kind of bring y'all into, far as what I've been doing on the editing wise and stuff. But editing, the reels, and I'm just trying. I guess I want to get the YouTube community back going, but I wanted to start off with this. Do whatever you believe God has called you to do. Step out and do it. In spite of any negative thoughts that you may have in regards to it, just step out and do it. So yeah, it's your boy More for More Beats. Hope this encouraged you guys, and I will see y'all real soon. Grace and peace.